I think it was most likely an orchestrated attack. And as a result, we're not likely to have short-term market implications, especially for Qatari gas and LNG and pricing globally, because Qatar remains one of the world's largest LNG exporter. However, it's going to have implications for its long-term expansion plans. Qatar is expanding massively its export capacity in the coming years and has not marketed all of it. And this underscores its vulnerability because of its location and because of the vulnerability of its shipping routes that we've seen over the past 2 years since the wars in the Middle East have surged in different neighborhood countries. We've seen also in Iran attacking Qatar in June, also an orchestrated attack. So I think it really puts in plain sight Qatar's vulnerabilities.
Tom, laying out again in broad strokes sort of what goes on in Qatar, and let me dig into that a bit more. We had the President of the United States going there on this big trip and really playing up the fact that it's a source of investment and a place that he's really seized on as an important ally. And the region, of course, has the largest military base, the U.S. military base in the Middle East as well. How do you see the geopolitics unfolding here? Qatar was playing this huge role here in trying to negotiate some sort of solution to that conflict in Gaza. They're upset. The U.S. is upset. What does it mean just for the broader geopolitical relationships here?
I think Qatar has a very ambiguous geopolitical standing. On one hand, it hosts U.S. military base, and on the other hand, it keeps strong ties with Western enemies, such as Iran, Hamas, the Houthi, the Muslim Brotherhood, and its financing in Europe, for example. I think what we've seen right now is Israel really coming out with its new military defense strategy since October 7, preemptively deterring any threats and trying to accomplish its war goals before the markup of the 2 years anniversary, sad anniversary of October 7.
Let me ask the dumb American question, because I am the dumb American. Are they on our side? When you look at Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, you look at the shores of the Persian Gulf, are those guys, are they on our side?
I think that's the best question. And
I did okay?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm so happy you asked this question, because I think eventually there is going to be more scrutiny on Qatar, and they will need to pick a side, because this ambiguity geopolitically serves them as any middle small power, but it cannot last, because there is this rivalry between China and the U.S., because there is too much at stake on the geoeconomics side of things. So it's definitely a critical question for the coming years.
Because the United Arab Emirates and the complexities of the 5 tribes, have Dubai, have Abu Dhabi, have they picked a side?
Not necessarily, but if you look at the Yemen civil war, for example, Qatar was definitely not on the Saudi side, but was on the Houthi side. And right now you have many threats that are coming on the way to the U.S.
Right.
And Qatar is not on the right side necessarily.
This is the distinction, folks. Gura knew all that, what she just said. To me, it's Greek. I'm like, really? Continue, David.
We were talking earlier this week. Ian Bremmer of Eurasia Group sent out a note talking about this kind of reconfiguration of geopolitical alliances. And for so long, he was talking about G0 and the dissolution of this alliance of world leaders. Help us understand what you saw as you watched the proceedings unfold in Beijing a few days ago. So you had President Xi there with Kim Jong-un, and you had Prime Minister Modi there, Vladimir Putin there as well. What does all of that signal to you, particularly from the vantage that you have of looking at this through the prism of energy?
Yeah. Time will tell us if it's a strategic bluff or a real deepening of the geoeconomic alliance between Beijing and Moscow. I think it reminded me some of the Cold War statements, preemptive statements, not much detail. They haven't agreed on pricing, but they are here to come as a splash on the media, on the international stage, and show that they have this kind of cooperation going on.